Dre, you know this shit ain't gonna never work.
All right, you trying to be funny, but you see how you said that shit, right? Like you believe it?
Yeah, I believe that shit.
Then say this shit like you believe it, man.
Cruising down the street in my 6'4".
Oh, shit. Hey, that was dope, eh? That shit was dope, man. Yeah.
And from that moment on, history was made for this young man, ladies and gentlemen.
Diggity dig.
This is the straight up rags to riches story, man. This is the greatest American hero right now.
Wow.
When you see somebody who grew up in a challenging environment have to be like we all have. And it's hard to navigate through that with all those pitfalls giving you temptation to make the wrong decisions, the wrong choices in life at a tender young age. It's designed to put us into a trap.
Absolutely.
That's why they call it a trap.
They don't want to see us do better.
They don't want to see us win. And every now and then we have these moments, these revelations that pivot our lives into the right direction.
Absolutely.
This young man from New Orleans, that's exactly what happened to him.
New Orleans.
You know, from New Orleans.
You did.
Holly Grove, ladies and gentlemen. That's what Wayne raps about.
Factual.
Yeah,
been in the streets.
Yeah, man. It's serious. You know,
Yeah.
to come from such an environment. You know what I mean? It was an environment where acting like wasn't even a thing.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen somebody blow up and become an actor. Like shouts out to Anthony Mackie, but
Yeah.
you know that's all we saw. And he went to Juilliard, so you know we thought that you still had to go through channels that we didn't have no access to. You know, and all we knew is dribble a basketball or catch a football or rap your way out the hood.
Yeah.
You know, so to have so many trials and tribulations and so many things that were against me and to have this happen. Like, this is only God's work, man.
Jason Mitchell was here, ladies and gentlemen. That was a clip from Straight Outta Compton. But let me ask you this, Jay.
Yeah.
And I don't even have the question, but
Yeah.
when you said something, I don't, because you made me think. I grew up in Oakland, similar to New Orleans. Grandmother's from outside of New Orleans.
Okay.
I do think it's a lot of acting in the hood.
Definitely. You
know-
got to be a chameleon, man. You know, because, I mean, if you're out there selling, the police could pull up. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to act like you're friendly with people when you're not. Sometimes you got to be a little bit meaner than you want to. You know, it's all kind of situations that you got to get yourself out of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think by me trying to just find a humor in life and by me trying to become that chameleon that I think, what I know that I had to be in order to survive in my neighborhood,
Yeah.
it gave me a lot of firepower. You know what I mean? It gave me a lot of firepower. And then on top of that, they had a lot of things that I didn't cry about. They had a lot of things that a lot of times I didn't hold my head down. You know what I mean?
Give me an example of things you didn't cry about.
Well, my dad killed himself when I was 15 years old. And my sister took it so hard that I just never cried. I just never let it out. You know what I mean? And it was my duty, I felt like, to now be the man of the house. You know what I mean? Now be that shoulder to cry on and all these other things. And I just never let it out, you know? And I didn't think about it until I started doing things. Well, until I did Straight Outta Compton, actually. Because once I turned it on, it was so hard to turn off. You know what I mean? I was like, wow, like, where are these tears coming from? You know what I mean? But it was like, you know, it's proof of having that thing built up in you. You know what I mean? Like, as a black man, you have just this thing built up in you. Men in general, you know what I mean? A lot of times we don't take the time to hug each other, tell each other we love each other. You know what I mean? We don't do that. You know, so like on a day-to-day basis now, I try to make that happen. You know what I mean? Like, not too many people leave out of my presence without hearing some sort of good words.
Yeah, but even walking in, man, I felt like I known you for a long time. I saw you play Easy E. I knew Easy E.
Right.
So Easy, when in L.A., when his show Ruthless Radio used to come on with Julio G and Tony G and all these guys.
Right.
My show with my partner King Tech and I came on right after him. The wake up show. So we hung out the whole night.
Right.
You nailed that.
Man, I appreciate
You did
that.
good with that, man.
I
You did good.
appreciate that. It's one thing when people comment, but like when people be like, I knew him. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
no, I knew him. So I was
Right.
like, no, I felt comfortable with what you were doing. I didn't even think about it. I'm sorry to hear about your father, though.
Man, me too. Me too.
Do you know
what I
why
mean?
he did it? Or
To be honest, I think you know, there was a situation that happened with him and my mom, and then a situation that happened with him and my sister. And ultimately, I think he felt like the love wasn't there for him anymore. You know, so it was like, you know, why live if your kids and your wife don't love you? You might as well go. You know, so I get it, but I honestly think that without that, I wouldn't be the man that I am today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I suffered through some things, but God might have been saving me from a lot at the same time. You know what I mean? I think I'm a very complex person, and that was a very pivotal moment in my life, and without it, I just wouldn't be myself.
Amen.
Yeah. Oh, man, give this man a round of applause right here, man. I love your energy, your aspect.
Thank you. Thank you.
I saw what Mr. Gray saw in you to put you in that movie, too, man.
Hey, man, shouts out to that dude. Because before working with him, like, he made the Mini Cooper cool. You know what I mean? He made Friday, Set It Off, The Negotiator, like, just a slew of really, really good movies.
Yeah.
And I never really followed directors and followed all that. Like I said, acting was so far from my life. Like, I knew some actors that were dope, but I wasn't following directors. But when I looked into him, I started feeling more confident about myself.
Yeah.
Like, you grew up in the hood, around the corner from Cube, and now y'all made Friday, y'all did all these different things, and you dropped nothing but hits. He only made 9 movies, and they all hits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he
Gary
never
Gray.
been to school.
Yeah.
He never been to school for it or none of that.
So
know
you
what I mean?
sharing with us what you shared. There's 1 million people listening right now, and 10 million more that'll watch this conversation.
Right.
How did you get into acting then, if it wasn't available to you?
Well, actually, they had a random just acting workshop come through New Orleans, and I heard about it on the radio. And at the time, I was in full search for new friends. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking like, oh, they probably got some good-looking females in here, who I never met, because New Orleans is such a small place. You know what I mean? Like, once you find your place in New Orleans, it's just there.
Okay.
So I was like, man, maybe I should go down here and see just what's up. They probably got some dudes who ain't into what I'm into. And I went, and I just loved it. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And I just made a complete fool of myself the first time I went, too. I ain't gonna lie, I wore like a 3-piece suit, just really trying to impress them. Like, please, just let me in this class. You know what I mean? And they was like, it's something about you. I like your ethic. And by week 5, I had an agent. Like, they was calling people in to come see me. Yeah, because I was just like,
damn.
If y'all serious about this, I'm serious about this. You know what I mean? Because it's one thing when people be like, yeah, you got great potential and you can be an actor. But when people be like, yo, I got plugs, we can make this happen. Like, stop everything else you're doing in your life. You know what I mean? Put the drugs down, put all that down. You know what I mean? Like, just come here. And it was just my safe spot for 3 days out of the week. For 3 hours out of each of those days, I could go and just live a different life and just be somebody else and do something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just motivated me in a different sort of way. Like, I used to just wake up happy. I was that kid that would be like, hey, Jason, if you need anything, you can call me. We can talk about the scene, if you need to hit me up during the week, just we can do it. We can knock it out. And then it'd be 11:30, and I'm like, yo, I don't know if you got a boyfriend. I'm sorry to call you so late. You know what I mean? But about this scene, I was that dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because I just wanted it. I wanted it so bad.
What an incredible testimony.
Yeah,
That's
so once it
incredible.
started flowing, I was like, I'm going to just keep swinging for the fence.
So that's a lot like, is Brandon kind of like the guy you were those 3 hours a day when you took the...
Absolutely.
The Brandon is the character he plays in The Shy,
Shy.
who's starting to open his own restaurant with his girlfriend.
Right. Right.
Jerica, I believe.
Yeah,
Jerica. I watched. Common, Rashid, that's my dude. So, all right.
Yeah.
It's so in a lot you like. Did you see how I dropped that?
Yeah.
Nobody saw that, right? Nobody saw that?
Yeah.
Brandon seemed to have this dual life as well, where he came from and where he ended up, similar to Jason.
Absolutely. Because and like him, I was like, while being a starving artist and trying not to be in the drug life and all that no more, I started cooking. You know what I mean? And I became like a cook and an oyster shucker in New Orleans and stuff like that. And I just love that instant gratification of like changing somebody's life, with food, and it was dope. You know what I mean? So me and Brandon have that alike, but we also have lost, somebody near and dear to us.
Yeah.
And that makes you feel some kind of way, like on a day-to-day basis, especially when the police ain't gonna do nothing about it. Ain't nobody got no detective money. Nobody about to come blow off the record. 99 years later, when they catch this person, it's just never gonna happen. So it was a world that I just wanted to withdraw from so much, but in Brandon's case, he can't withdraw from that world. You know what I mean? So he got a wild ride ahead of him. But at the same time, he want what's best. So he's still trying to steer and do the proper thing. You know what I mean? To keep himself out of trouble and keep his family out of danger. So
I
That's
like
a
this
dope
guy,
story.
Jason Mitchell, man. You're a great interviewer. Man. Killing it.
This
Got a
space is
story
making
to
this
tell.
my life.
I remember when you came up here to with the other guys to promote Straight Outta Compton, and I got to talk to you for a second about the emotional scene with Easy in the hospital and all that. And then there's also a scene in The Shy where you speak at a funeral. I won't say what happened, but you really get emotional in that scene as well because you speak about the frustration and what happens in the city and things like that. So when you know you're gonna have to go into a scene that day and cry and let all these emotions out, do you have to take a whole day to prepare or be left alone, or what goes into that?
Nah, my key is like music. At the top of that scene, they have a girl who does a really, really great piece, and she's also like a Chicago native. And Kiara has just a beautiful voice. You know what I mean? And I always use music, like even in my trailer, or if I just got 3 minutes to listen to some headphones or whatever to put myself in my own zone. But fortunately, I had her give this great piece before I gave my piece, and it just really set the mood for me. You know what I mean? It just set it off right. And it's just so eerie to walk into a church in that situation anyway. You're like, oh, hell no, this is not okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it finds somewhere in your gut already. You know what I mean? That it's already like pulling at. But like I said earlier, they got so many things. Like I got a list of things that I have not even addressed in my own life. You know what I mean? Just because it's easy to deal with other people and it's easy to deal with other things around you, but when you have to stop and like deal with yourself, that's the hardest part. So I use my art as the way to deal with myself when I need that therapy, when I need to cry like for no reason. I'm like, I'm just sad today. Like, you never know, you know what I mean? So I put all that in my bag, and when it's time for that, I could go. You know what I mean? 5 minutes there. Like, I'm not even tripping on it.
Jason Mitchell is here from The Shy. It's airing on Sundays, 10 p.m. on Showtime. Man, make sure you watch this series. Tracy?
Yes,
With
please
the work
subscribe.
that you've done so far, and also just talking about when you were in the workshops and you were like, wow, I get to live 1,000 other lives beyond my own. So with that said, what's a role that you would want to play that's very different from anything that you've experienced thus far?
To be honest, now I want to play a villain, right? Because I don't know if y'all watch Daredevil. Yeah, anybody watch Daredevil? Well, they have one of my favorite actors in there, Vincent D'Onofrio, and
Our co-star.
yeah, his
Well, he's in a movie we did.
yeah.
You want to tell him about it real quick?
Death Wish March 2nd in theaters.
Thank you. Okay.
Oh, cool.
Flat out.
Jay, we do this too, Jay.
Lit. What was that? I love it. No, but Vincent his character was introduced. Well, he's a villain in the story, and his character is introduced very subtly, like with love. You know, you see his imperfections and his insecurities, and you see him trying to impress this woman. And the moment somebody does something to make that wrong, he kills that person. You know what I mean? And he's like, no, like he literally slams this guy's head in the door until his head is completely severed, which is, next level. You know what I mean? It's a little graphic. It's a little graphic, but I'd like to do characters like that because after playing Easy, like I didn't look at him as the villain at the time, but when I watched the movie, I was like, oh, he was the villain the whole movie. You know what I mean? And he was the villain that everybody hated to love, but they still loved him.
Yeah.
You know, so I want to do some more interesting villains, man. I think they got so many layers. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like they're not just the bubbly guy.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I
Yeah.
crack jokes. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they got some layers. So I want to show some more.
Jason
of
Mitchell, man. It doesn't seem like this dude used to sell drugs. Huh? What was he
that.
selling?
Good job, Mom. We'll keep that. We'll keep that.
Okay.
We'll keep
Look,
that.
we got some. Well, it's only a handful that you could have.
Exactly.
All right, Devin. Devin from
it was.
Devin from New Orleans on the line. Go ahead,
What
Devin.
up, D?
David.
Hey, man, what's up, man? I just wanted to say I listen to y'all every morning, and I'm from New Orleans. I actually know Jason. We grew up in the same church at Beacon Light, and I just want to say, man, we proud of you, dog. Keep doing your thing, man, and you know it ain't nothing but love, dog.
Man, that's for Zam, son. I appreciate that, dog.
Wow.
I appreciate that, G, for real, man. That
You
made my
already know,
day
baby.
just now. That made my day
already
just
know,
now.
man.
You know I'm going to keep hustling for us, dog, for real.
Wow. Grew up in the same church. Wow.
Wow.
Just found you. That's Devin, man. Hook up with him when you get out there, man. Go to
That's what's
church.
up, man. I appreciate you,
That's
G.
dope.
Take your ass back to church. Is what he say.
No, but you know how you know what it is. It's just like that old saying, like your grandmother or your mother, somebody drag you to church when you're younger. You sometimes don't like going, but it don't ever really leave you. Even though you go out here and be doing wrong and stuff, sometimes you get caught up. That don't ever really leave you.
That made you tear up, huh?
Yeah, it did, man. Because like the project right down the street from Beacon Light, you know what I mean? Like they got a lot of people who we was at Beacon Light with as young adults and young kids who not here with us today. Yeah. You know what I mean? That church couldn't save everybody. Yeah. So man, shouts out to that, man. That's dope.
Man, you're an amazing spirit, man.
Yes, you are.
And I'm glad we had a chance to do it this way. One-on-one.
For sure. All
man. Right.
Anytime I'm out here, I'm coming through. You know what I mean?
That's what's up.
Jay, you got bars though?
Oh shit.
Man, look, I'm trying to keep them in a box for just a second.
You got bars.
We'll find out. Man, I got a few in the back of the back. We'll find out.
Come up here when you're ready.
Yeah, I'll start here.
Put your acting chops on. Act like you a rapper. Come
I'll
up here.
start here. I definitely start here. That's the way to do it.
There it is, man. Tell your man LG.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Hey, big shouts out to LG.
Yes.
Shout out to the Goon Gang. Shout out to the whole Fifth Ward. Shout out to RSN. Y'all know I love y'all. De Niro, I love you. You know what I mean? Like, shouts out to y'all, man. I'm going to see y'all soon, man.
That's what's up, man. We want to thank also the guys from Funk Volume for coming by. Jaron Benton for coming by. Also, Emilio Rojas. Demrick as well. No longer with Funk Value.
Right. Nope.
So they're 1 week notice now. They got the new project out now. Also, Jussie Smollett, you know him from Empire. He got his new single out today. It's called Freedom. And Some of My Music is the name of the album, coming out March 2nd. And we want to thank DJ Scratch for coming by, the legendary DJ Scratch. You know the group EPMD. Jay, DJ Scratch. Yeah, you already know. He got his Scratch Vision is launching tonight. So get your Scratch Vision app and support DJ Scratch. Jason, thanks. How can people reach you directly on social?
You can follow me at Jason Mitchell Actor, Jason Mitch. I'm pretty easy to find, man. I'm pretty easy to find, and I'm very active on social media. Twitter and IG are really my thing. You dig? You might catch me on Snapchat occasionally, but yeah, holla at me, man. I'm accessible. I'm real. I'm out here in the streets.
That's what's up, man. DB, how can they reach you?
Reach me everywhere. It's really DB.
Twitter, Instagram, citizens at it's Tracy G, ITSTRACYG. Also, really quick, I have to mention this. So, subscribers, there's a chance to win a trip to the Super Bowl 52. The grand prize, you get a trip for 2, airfare paid for, 3 nights hotel stay paid for, 2 tickets to the damn Super Bowl paid for. All you got to do is make sure you go to SiriusXM.com/Super Bowl. Do that before January 24th, 2018, of course, and you will get official rules and you'll see how to answer.
And we'll hang out with you, too. You can come by Sway in the morning, too.
Yeah.
All right, we'll make that happen. All right, Heather B., how can they reach you?
I'm at the happy hour WHB.
Who don't forget? I'm at Real Sway.
Oh, cute birthday. You forgot.
Cute.
Word. My birthday just passed, too, man. It's Cap season on the 5th. Yeah, my birthday was on the 5th.
Shout out to Kaepernick.
You did. Take a knee.
Check out my pics on Instagram. OQ Shoots. I completed a sexy photo shoot last night, and I have some behind-the-scenes footage there. So check it out. OQ Shoots. Check it out right now.
Okay,
Please.
OQ. Thank you, Jay. Jay would have been perfect for Damon John's book, The Rise and Grind. I love your story, man. I want to stay in contact with you, brother.
Yeah,
all right. You got an ally in me. All right.
Easy. That's what's up.
That's
G.
what's up.
I
Absolutely.
appreciate you.
It's all good. The Shy. Make sure you watch it on Showtime Sundays.
Yes, sir.
10 p.m.
Yes, sir.
What a great series to get to binge watch. So make sure you get involved. All right, Jason. Congratulations. Until tomorrow, we have who we got tomorrow?
Patrick Wilson. You know him from Insidious and The Conjuring.
Okay. Until tomorrow, we have nothing left to say.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shea 45.